Just 227 yards defensively, outstanding blitzes on third down, a wide variety of coverages, a pass rush that got home for 5 more sacks. The defense was outstanding in this divisional round win over the New York Giants, and that's what we're going to cover here so far on the All-22 review. I'm Fran Duffy, and yes, we're going to look back at a dominant win for this Philadelphia Eagles football team in the divisional round against the Giants. Offense, defense, a lot to break down here, but let's start on the defensive side of the football, where to me, it always starts with situations. And on third down, this defense smothering. Outstanding variety of coverages, a lot of exotic looks, some pressure schemes that we hadn't seen up to this point. Let's dive into some of the things we saw, especially on third down. All the variety of coverages that stood out to me on tape. I always like to get a sense of what a defensive identity is on third down. And for the Eagles in this game, it was chaos, and that's because of all the variety they threw at the New York Giants. Cover one here on the first snap. Man coverage across the board. That 4-man rush gets home for a sack. Let's look at another third down here in the second quarter. This one here, not going to be cover one. This one is going to be a fire zone pressure. You're dropping a defensive end out. You're sending overload from the opposite side. That forces a quick throw from Daniel Jones. James Bradberry comes up and makes the stop short of the sticks. Another one here. Next third down of the game. What do you get here? It's 3rd and 11. Is it going to be man? Is it going to be blitz? No, this is just basic cover 3. You get the rotation here from 2 high to 1 high. You're disguising the coverage. Daniel Jones has nowhere to go with the ball. The 4-man rush gets home, and it ends up being a throwaway. The Eagles get off the field. Another third down. A little bit later, it's 3rd and 6. Here, you're going to go double barrel, cover 0 pressure. The Eagles go all out blitz, man to man, no safety help in the middle of the field. We've seen 4 different third downs. All 4 very distinct different coverages kept the Giants guessing all night long. All right, so one of the clips we saw there featured some defensive ends dropping out. Josh Sweat, Haason Reddick, Robert Quinn. We actually saw a number of reps here in this game. The value of those guys being able to drop back in coverage, that does a lot of different things for this defense. Not only does that open up opportunities for other rushers to get home, it disguises pressure. It also can confuse quarterbacks in coverage. And again, we saw some really good opportunities of why this can be a valuable tool for this defense. Here are just some of my favorites. One thing the Eagles did a lot of in this game, dropping their edge rushers. Here you see Josh Sweat and Haason Reddick drop out. This is a sim pressure where you've got 4-man rush. CJ Gardner-Johnson blitzes from the slot. This is exactly what Daniel Jones is coached to do. Throw it to the void. The blitzer's coming from the left. I'm going to throw it to the left. Well, James Bradberry knows that, and he jumps this route from off coverage and comes up with the interception in midfield, puts the Eagles in position to put more points on the board. Outstanding example of what those pass rushers can do, dropping in reverse, opening up opportunities for others. CJ Gardner-Johnson has the free run, forces the errant throw, and it comes up as an interception for Bradberry against his former team. Later in the game, what do you see here? You're going to have a blitz from Marcus Epps and Kaiser White off the left side. You're going to drop guys off the right side, Robert Quinn being one of them. That defensive end, Quinn dropping, forces a throw to the outside. That can't come inside, and now you've got Bradberry getting home to tackle this play short of the sticks. Well, a little bit later, what do you see? The exact same look from the Eagles. You see who's up on the line of scrimmage. You see who's a threat to pressure. The Giants on third down, they say, all right, well, we got to slide away from this. We don't want to have happen what we saw last time, where you've got a free runner, Daniel Jones taking a hit. We're going to expect that those guys are going to come and Josh Sweat is going to drop out. And if he does come, all right, well, that'll be on Daniel Jones now to beat it. Well, what happens? This time, those guys don't come. Marcus Epps and Kaiser White, they both fall out. Josh Sweat is still cut loose because they can't change the protection after the snap. They thought they'd be in good shape to protect this ball. Now Daniel Jones has nowhere to go with this football. The versatility of these edge rushers is a huge tool for this Eagles defense. And I mentioned earlier, 5 sacks for this defense, and a number of them really showed up from a coverage standpoint, where I thought the Eagles did an outstanding job of matching in their zone principles. Cover 4, cover 3, it didn't matter what the Eagles were playing. They did a great job on the back 7. TJ Edwards and Reed Blankenship, CJ Gardner-Johnson, James Bradberry, you keep going down the list, Marcus Epps, Darius Slay, everybody showing up from a coverage standpoint. That helped the pass rush. Here are 3 of my favorite clips. All year long, I've been trying to harp on the impact that all 11 defenders can have on the pass rush, and that was evident here in this game. Cover 4 here. Look at Reed Blankenship and Kaiser White taking away the flanker drive concept. You've got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson taking away a throw on the crosser as well. Daniel Jones has nowhere to go with this football. The Eagles in cover 4 have done an outstanding job all season long. Fletcher Cox do a great job there with the contained rush of Daniel Jones as well. That goes for -5. A little bit later here, again, similar route concept, but watch James Bradberry. Watch Reed Blankenship. Look at how they read these routes. Bradbury sees this route coming and undercuts it a mile away. He passes off the deep crosser to Blankenship. You've got Kaiser White and TJ Edwards underneath playing traffic cop. Josh Sweat gets home on an extended play for a sack fumble, but the coverage on the back end just outstanding. And then here, a cover 3 rep from this Eagles defense. And look at CJ Gardner-Johnson. Look at TJ Edwards. Those guys taking away those routes on the left side here. James Bradbury, again, reading the dig route from the wide receiver out wide. He's going to take that throw away. CJ Gardner-Johnson's in the throwing window. Daniel Jones wants to throw it. He can't. Brandon Holm gets home for a sack. Time and time again, the coverage impacting the pass rush. And of course, you can't talk about the pass rush without giving a nod to the guys up front rushing the passer. And we're going to look here at Haason Reddick's sack on the opening drive. 4th and 8. He already had a half a sack on the previous play. What let him get home? Well, it was a really productive scheme there for the Eagles. It was really effective against the Giants here on this play. Let's see how it happened. One recurring theme we've seen from this Eagles pass rush is understanding when is the right time to run a stunt. It's 4th and 8. You see Saquon Barkley. He's up on the line of scrimmage like he's going to chip Haason Reddick. The Eagles are expecting this. They do a great job of calling a 3-man stunt where Reddick is going to loop inside. He's going to run away from that chip. Saquon Barkley is blocking ghosts. He's useless there in protection. You've got Reddick one-on-one with the center. He forces his way through, and he's able to get a sack. His second of the game, his second on 2 straight plays. Just an outstanding job. And again, on the back end of this, look at Bradbury in coverage. James Bradbury, outstanding performance against his former team. He helps lead the Eagles to a sack there on 4th down. Let's now shift gears over to the offensive side of the football, where Jalen Hurts just outstanding in the first half of this game especially. He starts off 7 for 7, perfect on the opening 2 drives. Let's take a look at his first pass. A deep ball to Devontae Smith. I really loved this one. A lot of elements to this play that made it work. Here's how it broke down. Jalen Hurts' first pass of this game goes 40 yards down the field on a deep post route to Devontae Smith. And I love this play for a lot of different reasons. Obviously, you love to start with an explosive. When you get an explosive play early in a drive, it often results in a touchdown drive. But the Eagles off play action, they just ran power on the first play of the game. So you fake power. You've got Dallas Goedert going to the flat. A.J. Brown running a slant. No one has more yards in the NFL off slant routes this year than A.J. Brown. And now you've got Devontae Smith working over the top. He's wide open because those defenders on the opposite side are worried about Dallas Goedert. They're worried about the play action fake. You're worried about A.J. Brown, but now you've got bombs away, a pristine pocket, and Jalen Hurts delivers for 40 yards and a first down to Devontae Smith. And like I said earlier on defense, it always comes back to situational football for me. And the Eagles in this game, first half on offense, 4 for 4 in the red zone, 6 of 7 on 3rd down. They finished the game 10 of 14. That was their best 3rd down performance in the playoffs in franchise history. It's actually tied the same exact mark that this offense put up against the Minnesota Vikings in that 2017 championship game. So just an outstanding performance on 3rd down. And this one play, the play that finished that final first drive, that was a touchdown pass to Dallas Goedert, 3rd down, red zone, one of the biggest situations in football, one of the most important. Let's see how they were able to get number 88 into the end zone. Just an outstanding example of winning situational football. 3rd down in the red zone. Doesn't get bigger than this. You got an opening drive of the game. How do you get the ball to your best playmakers in space? You go empty set here, and the Eagles get a clue that this is man-to-man coverage. So you've got a man-to-man on the outside. What are you going to do? You got to get the ball to your playmaker on a man-beating concept. So you've got a little rub route here. Zach Pascal and Dallas Goedert to the right. Outstanding job from Pascal, avoiding offensive pass interference. The defender falls. Goedert makes a one-handed catch, spins through contact, falls into the end zone. This is how you win in situational football. Outstanding tool for the Eagles here with the pre-snap motion, the empty set, making sure you had a concept designed to beat man-to-man coverage. The Eagles get into the end zone in the opening drive of the game. Now let's talk about this Eagles run game, right? 268 yards just on the ground. That's more yardage than the entire Giants offense accumulated in the game, rushing or passing. Just an outstanding performance from Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott, and of course Jalen Hurts as well. 268 yards, the most rushing yards by an Eagles team in the playoffs since 1949, the second most in franchise history. One block went viral here this weekend. That was the single block by Jason Kelce, a one-arm pancake. We'll take a look at that one, but also some really good double teams as well that helped open up some holes for these Eagles running backs. It doesn't get any better than this in the zone run game. Look at Jason Kelce here. One arm, gets his man to the ground. That's a defensive nose tackle that's got about 50 pounds on him, and he gets him down to the ground all one-on-one. No tripping, no getting tripped up, no one stepping on his foot. That's just one guy getting another guy to the ground. But The backside double teams here from the Eagles were just devastating in the fourth quarter of this game. Look at the job from Landon Dickerson and Jason Kelce on the backside. Jordan Mailata getting up to the second level. Miles Sanders, plenty of room to work. Later in the game, again, another double team. Jason Kelce and Isaac Seumalo here helping to spring Kenny Gainwell. The zone schemes were alive and well for the Eagles. The zone read game worked extremely well. The RPO game worked extremely well. But this offensive line creating movement, 268 yards on the ground. And the RPO game alive and well in this Eagles offense. The Eagles, according to Pro Football Focus, ran 27 RPOs against the Giants. That was more than any other team in the divisional round of the postseason. Let's take a look at two. They actually ran two within 3 or 4 plays of each other on the second drive of the game. Let's take a look at how that play worked and how it puts the linebackers in a bind. This is a great visual for an RPO because you've got the run element on one side, you've got the pass element on the other side. Jalen Hurts is going to make a read. Look at that backside linebacker. Look at his body positioning. He's in position to cover Dallas Goedert. Well, Jalen Hurts hands this ball off. Great blocking on the play side. Miles Sanders runs forward for a first down. Just a couple of plays later, same exact play call, almost the same exact formation, same look. You've got the same run play to the left. You've got the same pass route to the right. Take a look at what Jarrad Davis, the backside linebacker, does. He's going to crash on the run here. Well, now we're going to throw into the void. There's Dallas Goedert. He nearly scores. The Eagles ran more RPOs than any team in the divisional round of the playoffs. Here, they almost score. Great job setting up a touchdown later in the drive. And then the last thing that stood out watching this offense on film, the blocking from guys like Zach Pascal, Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Miles Sanders, all of your skill players, guys that focus on getting the ball in their hand. What they did without the ball against the Giants, a division rival, in a playoff game, that stood out to me. Here are some of my favorites. This was a long list. This was just so much fun. Time and time again, you see these Eagles skill players. Look at A.J. Brown. Look at Dallas Goedert springing out a first down on 3rd and short. Outstanding blocking there. Here's a touchdown to Devontae Smith. Look at A.J. Brown on the perimeter out in front for Devontae. A little bit later, look at Devontae now. Now it's his turn. Crack block for Jalen Hurts. Dallas Goedert leaking out on the play side. He's going to get the kick out on the force player. Look at Zach Pascal up at the second level. Little QB counter read there. Hand this ball off to Miles Sanders, and he takes off for an explosive run to the flat. Look at Zach Pascal. Look at A.J. Brown once again in the screen game. Jason Kelce getting out in front. These skill players time and time and time again. And it's everybody. It's A.J. Brown. It's Zach Pascal. It's Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jack Stoll, Miles Sanders you're going to see here in the red zone helping to spring Jalen Hurts. All of these guys contributing to get their teammates into the end zone or to move the sticks for a first down. So the Eagles advance to an NFC Championship game, their 7th since this turn of the century. Just an outstanding mark, second most in the entire NFL. We're going to be breaking it down next week right here on the All-22 review. But to get ready for Eagles 49ers, check out Eagles Game Plan. Check out the Eagle Eye in the Sky podcast, wherever podcasts can be found. We're going to be breaking this matchup down all week. Get you ready for Eagles 49ers.